Good afternoon, everybody. It's Nikki from Spa Indulgences by Nikki, my store, and Nikki's Essentials, my blog. I know it's been a hot minute since we had a chance to talk about essential oils at all. Right, so today I will be discussing the different essential oil extraction methods that happen, but there are four main ways for it to be processed out. So in this video, I will be talking about distillation, expression, chemical extraction, and CO2 extraction. Distillation. Anyway, so it's about 5,000 years old, the distillation of essential oils out of plant materials. In the 5th century AD, Zosimus of Panopolis, during this time, he believed, as well as many others, that the essences of the plant were divine. These were the divine waters of the gods, panacea, the core of everything as well. Now, in 400 AD, the Avicenna, not the Avicenna, he was the Persian child prodigy, and he wrote extensively about plants and botanicals as well as massage. He is also credited for refining the process of distillation of essential oils. Now, in the Middle Ages, it was done in a very crude and rudimentary form to create floral or aromatic waters, kind of like rose water, mostly used for fragrances, tonics, cooking, and trade. Now, distillation is the most common method for removing the essential oils out of a plant. And it has a major advantage too. The advantage of distillation is that the volatile components can be distilled at temperatures lower than the boiling point of these individual constituents and are easily separated from the condensed water. I will have the link to that quote down below. Anyway, so it starts off with the plant materials that are put upon a mesh. And the still is then sealed oil. This works very similarly. Anyway, the water or the steam is injected or there or boiling, whatever. Anyway, that slowly breaks down the plant cell walls and the volatile substances rise up through the pipes. And as it does that, it cools and it then finally collects into a container. Anyway, the oil and the water separate, so you can easily remove the oil as you would like chicken fat from stock. Now, distillation actually has a couple of different forms, three actually. There's the water, where the plant material is in direct contact with the water. And then there's the water and steam method, where the water remains below the plant materials that are on the mesh, and then steam is injected from outside of the still or indirectly. Then there is steam, which is the most common form of distillation. It is introduced at a higher temperature and pressure than the other methods as well. Now here's some bonus info for you. There is another form called the percolation method. Anyway, this is a more recent form of distillation, and it is similar to steam in that steam is injected into the still, but instead of coming up from the bottom, it comes from the top. And this is actually faster, and it is great for woody plants or other fibrous materials. Hydrosois. This is a way to extract essential oils called hydrosols, which is actually a byproduct of the process, or really the product, because that's what you're trying to get. Anyway, these are water-soluble constituents and small amounts of essential oils, about 0.05 to 0.2 milliliters per liter. This is also called cold pressed. It's very pure. There's no heat involved, so it doesn't break anything down. the high pressure is provided by like a pressing down, not like pressure like a pressure cooker, but and so this squeezes out the oil. This is very common when making essential oils from citrus peels, lemon, lime, orange. Solvent extraction. This is a method that is commonly used for very delicate plants such as jasmine or lindens. The flowers are placed onto perforated trays, and these are washed with a solvent, which is usually going to be hexane. And the solvent dissolves all extractable methods, including the aroma molecules, the waxes. It also extracts pigments. Then the solution is filtered using a low pressure distillation method, and the solvent is then recovered to be used again. This leaves behind a waxy mess called concrete. And it can contain as much as 55% volatile oil. So the concrete is then processed further to remove waxes. After that, the waxes that were dissolved get removed by agitation and freezing up to negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Then the solution is cold filtered, and you get a really great product like that called an absolute. And finally, the CO2 extraction methods, carbon dioxide and supercritical carbon dioxide extractions. The carbon dioxide, light hexane from the previous method, is used as the solvent. And this is done at a low temperature and a low pressure, between 35 and 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and at 1000 psi. Now, the supercritical CO2 extraction is slightly different. It is heated up to 87 degrees Fahrenheit and up to 8000 psi. And this creates a very dense fog around the plant material. Now, both methods use CO2 in the process, and that escapes as gas. And they use and anyway, the process leaves only the essential oil behind. There's no residues. There's also no heat either. And at the end, you get a very, very pure final product. It's one of the most modern, and it's also one of the most efficient too. Because of the amount of plant material it requires to make even the smallest amount, like as it says here, that 1 ton of rose petals produces less than 1 pound of oil. The efficiency of the CO2 extraction is particularly important when rare or endangered plant species are involved, such as the Indian sandalwood. Less of the plant is actually needed to produce an equivalent amount of oil. Now, these are just a few of the websites and organizations that I went to look for my information in my research. I will have all of these links and more down below, as well as the sources I used for the pictures and diagrams. Thanks again, everyone, for joining me. I hope you found this informative and useful. If you found any value in it and think it could be helpful in teaching other people, please feel free to share it with others, reblog it onto your blog, teach them some things. That's what the whole point of this channel is about. So anyway, like I said before, I'll have all of my links down below. Anyway, if you have any ideas, suggestions, questions about essential oils, or have any thoughts about future videos about topics you'd like to see me do leave me a comment down below or shoot me an email. Anywho, I will talk to you all very soon. Thanks again, everybody, for joining me. I will catch you next time.